Good evening, fans of the project. We're here out in the garage. It's, geez, I don't know. Oh, July 25th, 2013. I'm busily continuing on with the final assembly. And tonight's a little bit of success before I move on to the next thing, has been to get the rear brake working. I know that I'm going to have to take it all apart again. Hang on a second here. Let's shed some light on the subject, shall we? Come here, you. Ouch. Yeah. Come on. There we go. That's better. Yeah, there we go. I can see that a little more clearly now. Yep. So, a long time ago, I figured since this was a motorcycle, what I would do is give it a handbrake for the rear, because that also ties in with my like of race cars and sports cars from the 1920s, which quite often, the teens and 20s, quite often vehicles, especially race cars, had levers on the outside of the body, and brass era cars too, which I really dig. And so I thought what would be cool is, since this is nominally a motorcycle, I would have a handbrake for the rear. And so what I did was I tossed the original Intruder 1400 brake caliper for this Suzuki Boulevard C90, which was also previously known as the Intruder LC 1500. This brake caliper here, this 4-piston caliper, because I thought it fit perfectly on the VS 1400 rotor. I thought that would work nicely. What I've done so far is I got it plumbed, and I had to make this neat little brazed inline pipe fixture to replace the banjo bolt that went on the end of this master cylinder. This master cylinder is from a Suzuki M109. It might be a little small for the system, but it's working pretty good right now. So I made this little. This is an M10 by 1.25 bolt that I drilled through and brazed in a piece of 3/16 brake line, which goes to a usual 3/824 IFM double flare. This fixture right here, this little T right here, this is a pressure operated brake light switch. Here's the wiring. Wiring goes there. Here's the Suzuki reservoir to a hose down to this pipe that I fabricated. Here's the brake line, and brake line goes over there to the caliper, and the pipe comes over here to the reservoir, to the master cylinder. So what I just completed doing was filling and bleeding the system. Even though it moves a little bit, it's got a bit of travel, but it does stop the wheel from moving. The other thing it does now is, check this out. I'm going to shut these lights off so we get a bit more contrast. We'll send this one back to its former life as an engine light. It does this. Here we go. I love doing this. Turn it on. Turn it on. I like watching the voltmeter. Bang! It's 12 volts. Neutral light. And now we point back here. We press the brake lever and bing! The brake light lights. Yeah. How about that? You can hear this. This spring here I got today. I went to the boneyard, Jack's Used Auto Parts in Woburn, and this spring actually came from I want to say it was a Kawasaki, maybe a KZ750 or a KZ650, probably a KZ750. And this is the rear brake return spring from that Kawasaki. So it's serving nicely in this office. It creaks nicely like an old car should, and the light goes on and off just like it's supposed to. Yay! So anyway, we don't need to test any of the other lights, I don't think. So anyway, that was the completion and success for tonight. Now what I'm moving on to is this is really exciting. Here's this right here. This bit of 1/4-inch brake pipe that you can see is already bent somewhat. This is the fuel line that goes from the fuel pump up to the engine bay. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to mount that. First I got to form some bubbles on it, some hose retention bubbles. Then I'm going to install that, and then I'm going to plumb the gas tank, in fact, because we're getting close. I don't know if I'm going to be able to run this thing before I go away to Plum Island the Saturday after next. But it'll certainly run either the week after that or the middle of the following week. It's going to run before the end of August for real. I know, which is why I thought it was necessary to get the rear brake working. I didn't think that was something I could skip. So anyway, success proceeds apace. One more step forward into the breach, my friends. Lend thine eye its fiercest aspect.